weird.
What? An assassin? A spy? An assassin? This is so cool!
The girl was starved for entertainment.
I thought about asking her to play my wife, but I'd better not.
I thought about asking him to play my boyfriend at the party, but that could easily end in bloodshed, so I'd better not.
Hi, I'm Maddie with Temple of Geek, and I am talking to voice actors Megan Shipman and Natalie Van Sistine here at Anime Expo. Can you tell our audiences a little bit about the characters that you voice in Spy Family?
Yes, so I play Anya in Spy Family. She is an adorable 6-year-old who secretly has telepathic powers, and she's adopted by Yor Forger, who because she's telepathic, knows he's a spy, and also then gets a wonderful mother, Yor, who she knows is secretly an assassin, because again, she's telepathic, and she's just a fun little 6-year-old. She makes funny faces, she does funny things, and she's a little chaos child. So I love her, yeah.
And my name's Natalie. I play Yor Forger. She is secretly an assassin, but she works for the city by day, and she's just trying to do her best, and she's really, really good at being an assassin, but not really good at anything else.
Very cool. Thank you so much. What were your initial reactions when you were cast for these roles?
I knew kind of how big Spy Family was by like peripheral, like seeing things on social media. I was excited because at the time, it's one of those things where it's big, but you don't like see all of this happening, as you're like getting cast. I knew it was a big deal, and I was like, this is so exciting, this is gonna be so fun. And now I'm just like really grateful because it's like such a huge, like it's finally like you kind of sinks in when you come here and you see how big things are. So yeah, it's when I got cast, I was like, all right, sweet, yeah, this is gonna be a really good time. I'm excited. So yeah.
I mean, the way we found out was we basically got a call from the producers, and I had already kind of put in my head, I was like, this is probably not going to happen, so I just need to move on and just, get to whatever the next job is and focus on whatever else is coming up. And then I got the call, and I was holding the phone up in a way as I was getting informed of some details about the project and everything, and I was jumping. I was literally jumping up and down. I was so glad it wasn't in person because I looked like an insane person. I was just like, yes, yes, yes. And I was like, I really hope none of this is audible through the phone because I'm freaking out.
Right, of course. And rightfully so. These characters are so much fun. And they have just kind of exploded on the internet too. What has been your reactions to seeing other people's reactions, of these characters?
It's really fun because, we kind of work on these shows, and before they come out, like we see it all, or like as much as we can when we're recording, depending on who's recorded before us or whatever. So we kind of see it and we're like, oh, this is so cute. This is so funny. And for me, I feel like this is like, for me, I'm always like, gee, I hope this is funny. Like, I think it's funny because I say a lot of the funny things. And so I'm like, I think it's funny, but I don't know if anyone else is going to think this is funny. So when every week comes out, and I'm on Twitter a lot, so like people will, post clips and stuff from the episodes, and I always love to like see them, and they'll tag me in it. And it's so fun getting to see people like what parts of those episodes are their favorites. That they're like, I want to put a clip of this up because it's hilarious. So yeah, I just love that because it's like you're like, I don't know what people are gonna like. I think it's funny. Will they think it's funny? I don't know. So yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, it's just been amazing to see the fan reaction and just realize that you're in something that's so big and encompasses so much and is reaching so many people. And it's, kind of the first time, like even a lot of people who don't like anime or who haven't watched a lot of anime, they actually know about this one and they've seen this one. And that's just amazing to me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very cool. How has working on Spy Family been different from other projects you've worked on?
Well, like Natalie said, you don't always get a call from the producers when you get cast in a show to be like, hey, are you good? Are you free? Because they really wanted to make sure like we were available because we do these on a simul-dub schedule, which is like every week is a turnaround of a new episode. So we record everything in 1 week and then the episode goes up. And so they were like really wanting to make sure that we were available, we were cool with it, like we were good to go, really making sure we knew like, y'all gotta be here. You can't just fly to Cancun. Okay. But yeah, so it was, that's not typically normal. But other than that, like most of it has been pretty normal, because we just go in, we do our jobs. It's a good time. The team we have working on it is super fun. And yeah, but yeah, that's really it. Like, and then you come here and you're like, oh yeah, it's really big. Oh yeah, like when I sat in front of 1,000 people yesterday, and I was like, I mean, I've done panels, but there's 1,000 of you here. So yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah, very much similar. Like for the most part, the actual production side has been pretty straightforward, what we're used to. But the fan reaction and just the spread of the show and the reaction has been so much bigger. And it's been so cool to meet like all the people who are like, we know your performance and we love this bit and everything. And just to have people that are so familiar with what you've done is very new and surreal and awesome.
Yeah, wonderful. Now, is there anything that you want audiences to take away from your characters or the Forger family in general?
Well, I've told people, like, I love the fact that Anya is a literal child. Like, she's written so childlike, and I think it's the first character in a long time that is a child and is not like a 10,000-year-old being in a 5-year-old body. But like she's so charming, and like she is a child with a huge imagination, and she just does all these crazy things, and then she just happens to have telepathy. So like that's just an added chaos thing. But no, I think a lot of the message of the show is it's like you have all these extreme circumstances, like a telepath, a spy, an assassin, and they're like all. But I think at the end of the day, what makes the show so endearing, and that I hope people really take away, is like the show's really about like connections. And I'll let you explain this more, but the fact that they are all so focused on themselves and not wanting to do anything wrong for their own personal reasons, I think that's so relatable, and I think it's a good message, because it really shows you like everyone has doubts about themselves, so it's a really great show that is way more relatable once you start watching it, and you're like, why am I so into this? And then when you really think about it, you're like, oh, because it's really relatable. So yeah.
Yeah, I think what really struck me is kind of the way it really highlights the way we feel we have to perform family in a certain way, and that family needs to look like a specific thing to be accepted or to be considered not weird or suspicious. And the idea, I love that the show really reinforces the fact that family can look like a lot of different things, and that the more important thing is the communication, the respect you have for each other, and the desire to work together to be a good family unit that cares about each other. And that if that is where you're starting from, it's a lot easier to get to the point of looking like a good. And I think that's the cool thing too, is the Forgers don't feel or don't seem to think they're a really good family. But I love the fact that there's so many people like the headmaster who zero in and go, I mean, I don't get it, but that's an elegant, very good family. And I don't think they realize that because they are working together in their own weird way, they do come across as a family, and that's very cool.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. Audiences can catch Spy Family on Crunchyroll on Saturday, July 9th. And again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.